And welcome to another edition of the Hometown Tire ETBU Coaches Show. Today we're going to be talking with head bass fishing coach for the Tiger Bass Fishing Team, Cameron Berger. Cam, welcome to, I think it's your first one of the year here in the second semester. Mm-hmm. So, Cam, we got a lot to talk about, but first of all, you guys are champions. The first ever FLW Southern Conference Championship, first year for it, and ETBU pulls out the championship for the entire year. Talk a little bit about that championship and what it is and means for the program.
Well, FLW came out with it last year. This is their inaugural season for the School of the Year program. They have an overall School of the Year, and then they have a School of the Year based on your conference. ETBU's in the Southern Conference, and it's an accumulation of good finishes throughout the whole season. We were able to finish in the top 15 to the top 5 to win in tournaments, and all of those were based on the guys on the team. Everybody on the team was they played a role in our success is getting Southern Conference the champion title. So
and with that, you go by the year, so it's for 2019. So it's like the spring semester of 2019 and the fall of 2019 that goes together. And with that, I think you finished in the top 10 overall as the team of the year. And looking at the points wise, you guys were, I think, less than 100 points away from being the top team of the year, which I think was Adrian College or something like that up from up north. Talk about how close those gaps are from being, from 10 to 1.
It's really all about being consistent. The teams that win, they win one tournament, or they win one tournament and they have a top 5 finish, and then they don't do very well the rest. That's when it hurts the teams. Like I said, my guys were consistent throughout the season. We had a first place finish, first and second place finish, and then we had multiple top 10s, and that's where it gets close, is when you have FLW takes the top 2 for every tournament. So if we have a team that got second and then a team that got 30th, they take the points based off the second place finish, and then the team that got 30th. So it's the top 2 teams that are granted points for their finish.
So let's talk about the end of 2019, which would be the fall season. You guys finished strong, get some more qualifications, help finish out that conference championship. Tell us a little bit about how those tournaments went in the fall.
We had a lot of honestly, it was a lot of good weather. A lot of things went our way. We had our team of Brett Clark and Cody Ross, solid team. They work well together, and we had guys graduate. We had Mason Beatty graduate in December, so he fished with Jacob Keith, another solid team. Those guys work well together, and every tournament we go to, it's a true testament to the guys that are on the water for long periods of time. Anytime we go to a tournament and we are there for a week or even 4 days, these guys are up at 4:30 practicing, and they do it every single day. So it's a true testament to their ability to do that, because it will take a toll on somebody's body getting up and dealing with rough water, weather, every single day, and even more so standing up for 9 hours. And so our tournaments that we had, we were, like I said, we were blessed with opportunity, and things just went our way. We had a lot of the times it was so close in some of the tournaments that we were ounces away from winning. I know for the Arkansas River that Jacob Keith and Mason got second on. That tournament there, we were ounces away from getting first place. So it's a sport about ounces, and but it's a true testament to the guys.
So looking to the new season for 2020, spring season to start that, you guys already had your first tournament, Toledo Bend, almost like the home fishing area for us. You do really well there, have a boat qualify already for the FLWs. Talk about this last weekend and how you guys did there.
So this tournament on Toledo Bend was for college bass, which is Bassmaster. And this is the first time as a program that we've qualified for bass. All of our other qualifications have been FLW, and there's always something that comes with fishing against 250 boats and being in the top five. There's always a kind of a check mark on your resume when you get to that point of fishing against 250 boats, and it's a 3-day tournament, and you end up in second place. So hats off to Brett and Cody. The other guys on the team, they did well. It was a struggle. It's all about a location on Toledo Bend, and we had a team finish in the top 30, and then obviously with Brett and Cody's finish in second. Huge congrats to them. Like I said, it's the first qualification for the College Bass Series, and they haven't announced the national championship yet, but we'll be attending that.
Well, Brett and Cody, we're watching some of the video on Facebook. They were sitting in first place till that last boat came in, and then that last boat, I think it was like by 3 pounds that they beat them.
Yeah, so the team that won the tournament was Bethel University. Great group, great team. Their coach Gary Mason and Kenny Loudon, both of those guys I fished as an angler. I fished against their teams when they were a coach, and that was a number of years ago. So they have increasingly grown a stronger team, and they have some solid guys over there, not only on the water but off the water as well. They just very upstanding guys, and Brett and Cody were in the hot seat, is what they call it, and they were in the hot seat, and Brett and Cody told me after the tournament, they told each other, they were like, we're not going to be here long, because they knew what the team coming up had, and that's the way it goes. That's the way fishing is, and you may think you have it, and then somebody else sneaks in behind, and but that's the way it goes. And but winning a tournament by ounces is a big deal, but winning a tournament by pounds that's something to say. I mean, that's a huge task to do.
And so with that, there's another Nationals coming up. It's your next meet in the end of February. What Nationals is that, and who's going to that, and where's it at?
So we have we qualified last year for the FLW National Championship. That one is going to be it's called the Harris Chain of Lakes. It's in Leesburg, Florida, which is 45 minutes north of Orlando. And like I said, that's with FLW, and we have 2 boats going to that. We have Brett Clark and Cody Ross going to that, and then Jacob Keith and Mason Beatty going to that. Now Mason graduated in December, but he qualified when he was still a student, so he's able to fish that tournament, and we will be leaving on the 22nd to go down there and practice.
Nice. So you'll go a little bit ahead of time, check out maybe some pockets on the lakes there, and try and figure out where the hot spots are.
Mm-hmm. So the Harris Chain of Lakes, it's as its name is, it's a chain of lakes. There's not one lake. It's I believe there's 6 or 7 lakes in the Harris Chain. So you can fish a number of them. So it's not just figuring out one lake, it's figuring out a number of lakes if that's what you choose to do.
And so they'll go down there and face several boats, and then you got 2 chances to finish in the top 10, name a national champion, and then that's how that tournament will work then.
Yeah, so it's a 3-day tournament. That tournament will be obviously based on weight. The first day, the whole field will fish. The second day, will be the same thing. And the third day, they take the top 25, and then they'll crown a national champion. And that's what we're there to do. I tell my guys all the time, I want a national champion, I want a national championship. I mean, that should be our goal. And I think for most of the guys it is. It's definitely something that doesn't happen often in the southern region. You know, the teams in the South are not as old as the teams that have been in Alabama or Kentucky or Tennessee or things like that. They've been around a long time, so they have a couple national championships under their belt. But that's our goal when we go to Florida, and I hope it plays out, and we'll see.
Talk a little bit about the support that you guys have. You know, the anglers always think they're sponsors and stuff, but like some of these schools that are coming, they don't really have the support of their school or athletic program, and they're all fundraising to get their sponsors. You guys have some major sponsors helping you guys out, big and little,
right.
and the push from ETBU to do that. Talk a little bit about that and how much that helps the program.
I mean, that is the single most important thing that allows us to get quality anglers here is support from the university. Our sponsors, once we get the students to the university, our sponsors help us go to those tournaments. We, you know, with support from the university and really the motivation behind us doing well is knowing that the university's behind us. And things like this right here, this interview, it's, you know, the schools, 90% of the schools don't do this. They don't do, they definitely don't do any kind of press releases. It's very one-sided. It's a very, you go to this school, you're gonna go fish, but there's no support from the university. So with ETBU supporting the bass team, that, like I said, it's a huge motivation for the guys to do well. And our sponsors, bass fishing wouldn't be where it is now without sponsors. Not just with ETBU, but professional, college, high school. There's so many different sponsors and companies that provide material, provide financially, or even provide by marketing. I mean, that's what runs the sport of bass fishing.
And it's great to see, you know, even a lot of your sponsors are local East Texas sponsors, you know, and seeing that on the national scene, and they're being able to be exposed because of that. You know, just some of them off the top of my head that I know of is like Skeeter Boats and our turf company and V&M Baits, I think. So all the local East Texas sponsors are getting a part of that then with this.
Yeah, so we partnered with Hometown Tire here in Marshall.
Okay.
And that's always a huge thing to get local sponsors. But Symmetry Turf, they have been one of our title sponsors for the past few years. Skeeter has been with us since the beginning, Skeeter Yamaha, and you know, we obviously wouldn't be where we are without them and their support. And we have V&M in Louisiana. We have Fishing Frenzy in Louisiana, and some of our other ones that are as important as the other ones that we have. Obviously, our rod sponsor. Recently we've been kind of up in the air with a rod sponsor and our reel sponsor and things like that. But we've continued to use Temple Fork Outfitters and Shimano and Lew's. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Sponsors drive the sport, and without that support from them, it just wouldn't happen.
And it's great to see too. You guys have a wrapped truck too that you can go out on the road. It's kind of twofold. You promote ETBU while you're on the road,
right.
wherever you go.
Right.
But then you also get to pull your boat and everything like that. So that's kind of cool, and how ETBU uses all this for marketing everywhere they go. You know, from the South. Last year the Nationals were in Washington D.C. in that trip, and taking that across the United States. So we're also promoting ETBU everywhere we go.
Right. It's I've been told very often that we are a driving billboard, and it's true, because we, like you said, it's we travel a lot of miles, and I want to thank Matt Moore and Maverick Chevrolet for that opportunity to have a truck like that, and our wrap company that we use for our boats, as well as the truck Tyler Wrap Company in Tyler. And having that and having it look the way that it does is a huge draw for anybody. Anybody that sees a wrap vehicle is drawn to it, and that's what that's what we're looking for. When we drive down the road, we want people to take pictures because that's how ETBU's name gets out there.
And it's kind of a pride thing too. An alumni person might see you along the road or somewhere you're stopping, like, oh, I went to ETBU. Let me take a picture. So that's the really, really neat thing about ETBU is how much they pour into the support of the things that they do here,
Right.
helping grow the university, and hopefully bringing in more students that way wherever you guys go.
Right.
So, well, Coach, we want to thank you for talking on the show, talking a little bass fishing and where the program's going, and good luck at the end of February with the Nationals in Florida. That should be a great time for the anglers going there, and we're hoping that you can bring back that national championship. So, well, thanks for watching us here on the ETBU Sportsnet, the Hometown Tire Coaches Show with head coach Cam Berger. We'll probably talk to him back in March. We'll get an update on how Nationals went and see what's going the rest of the spring. Thanks for watching.